Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, I want to talk about what happened on Friday and how the Flare network is made exactly for moments like that. I got this comment on my YouTube. After the huge crypto dump on Friday, there's no way I will ever use FAssets. You're playing Russian roulette with your crypto. I will stick with staking and delegating. So clearly this user has some Flare and has been using it and seems like he's happy with the staking and delegating that he uses. But I think there's so much more. If we go to the Flare Network's post from 2 days ago, Flare just passed a major stress test. The enshrined Flare time series oracles kept the data decentralized, accurate, and secure, allowing the FAssets and our DeFi protocols to work as intended. So what do you understand for enshrined data?
What I understand from enshrined data is that it's on the network. We're not getting it from a third party. So there's a lot more accuracy when it's built into the network and you reduce your risk of a breakdown. That's what I understand for enshrined.
Correct. So in the same way that, for example, the XRP ledger has the AMMs directly into the protocol, the oracles on the Flare network is the same thing. The oracles are not an app that are running on the Flare network. It's part of the Flare network's functioning. So if the Flare network is working, the oracles are working and vice versa. And then you have all the validators, which right now are more than 100, that are fetching data from different sources. And then the data that everybody agrees is the data that gets pushed to the network. So if you have one bad actor, like one bad piece of data, then that data does not collapse the whole system. Each FTSO has, I don't know exactly where the data feed is coming from, but I know that they have different data feeds. So
Right.
then each Flare validator gathers that data and then pushes it to the network. And then from that agreement from the validator, then you have the whole network that needs to agree of what price is the good one with agreement of all the validators. So there's like two layers of agreement and decentralization. First, on the validator level, that they have to have a whole different set of price feeds that are feeding into the system. That once they agree, they submit the price. And if every validator over 100 are doing the same thing, and then the whole networks only uses the price that everybody agrees, then there's really no way to manipulate the price feeds. So this makes it super powerful. There was no issues with any of the DeFi. I mean, some people got liquidated, and that is only
Fine, that's not FTSO.
yeah, like you can't help that. So people degens will be degens forever. But in general, there was no collapse of the system. Somebody said that I saw this before the crash. This is from another video that I made. Strobe liquidated at least 1,000 coins and Kinetic didn't. So we'll use them more. And my health was 111 on Kinetic. So first, being at that health factor, I think it's irresponsible. I mean, once you start going to those levels, then it's no different than perpetuals. So everybody can do whatever they want. I'm just saying that is not a responsible thing to do. That's number one. Number two, what happened is that the XRP Ledger EVM sidechain uses different oracles, and we will talk about it in a second. So basically, banned oracle rewards are more classic staking plus service. It is without the tight epoch-based accuracy band, while the Flare oracle's rewards are fine-grained with epoch's accuracy incentives and evolving reward rules. So if you're optimizing for high precision and dynamic reward alignment, Flare model is more sophisticated and also more complex. So for DeFi, because it's not the same, the data to say that the airplane left at 5 p.m. or 5:01 p.m. That is not that critical. But when you have economic safety, then that bad data can be the difference between you getting liquidated because somebody's submitting a bad price, which is, from what I understanding, what happened. Basically, what happened is that there was a dump on the Binance stablecoin, and then the Oracle only tracks one venue of price. That bad price feed tells the system that the collateral value is underpriced, so that creates a mass liquidation, which then overloads the infrastructure, and then the result is that $19 billion was destroyed. Without going too much into complexity of this, that was one oracle with one bad price data that caused this mess. This is not possible on the Flare network. So seeing some tokens going to zero and then seeing Flare Network, how resilient it is, for me, that just speaks of how much work Hugo and the team has put into making this a safe and reliable system that retail and institutions can join and that they can feel safe with their value. Because like the market turndown, there's inevitable, and you have to manage your own risk, and there's things that you can do to fight that. But bad data, you're helpless. So that's kind of my opinion. And then lastly, we were talking about, somebody was telling me that the FTSO was a big deal on Friday because a lot of people had their protocols shut down or unusable because of pricing issues. And then somebody reached out to me on Telegram and asking me about help with smart contracts because he had like a bad loan on the XDC EVM network, and he wasn't able to do anything. He wasn't able to interact with the contract. So he didn't get liquidated, but he didn't know if he could add more collateral or withdraw or repay. He couldn't do anything. And at that moment where you don't know if the world is going to end, like that's super stressful. A few hours or a few minutes later, I was swapping some FXRP and entering a liquidity pool. So like the Fed network just kept on going as if nothing.
Yeah, no, I mean that was just crazy. Like I didn't even really consider that. Like for me, like even when all that was going on, I did some moving, I added some collateral, paid back some debt, and everything worked as intended. So I can't even wrap my head around what that would feel like. And I could just imagine how like it would be God, just gut wrenching, to be honest. Oof.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, if we look at the chart, the real drawdown was, well, I don't know, 20%. But the week, like that price movement in those 15 minutes went crazy. So a lot of people got liquidated on that. A lot of people were helpless. And I think that the Flare network fixes this. And I'm super bullish. I'm super excited and looking forward for other people seeing the value in what we're talking about and actually implementing the Flare network's technology, because that is the difference between having a system that you can rely on or having somewhere where you're gambling. Because when everything is good, all these protocols work. The problem is when something goes wrong, that's when you really see who's swimming without a swim trunk. So
When the
yeah.
tide goes out.
Yeah. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you next time.